Yes, the makers of the new Rinso bring you the Amos and Andy Show.
Hi, boys and girls. It's been about a week and a half since Kutztown took place. Needless to say, I had a great time, and the video's gotten over 1,000 views, and people have been very nice and left a lot of nice comments. I have received, though, a number of inquiries as to what followed me home. So that being said, I wasn't really looking for anything specific. I was actually looking for some things for other people. But I did find one thing I wanted for myself, but ultimately 3 things followed me home. And let me show you what they are. Okay, let's get started. This is an Emerson Model 587. It was made between 1949 and 1950, thereabouts. I kind of like the look of the radio. I like that it has this inset with the gold kind of metal grill cloth and kind of an industrial look, and has this crossed front or whatever you want to call that. The only problem with this case and this radio is, well, you can see it's seen better days. It's it might have bounced off a floor or two or something. Well, this is how I got this radio. And the chassis I pulled out of it, and I got it working and went through it, and it was pretty good. So I happened to come across another one of these, but much nicer condition. And you can see this is has the white, what they called Plascon cabinet. That was the creative adjective that I guess someone in the plastics industry many years ago came up with to describe this type of plastic. I guess for lack of a better description, it's molded in color. Like if you look at this black one, it's also molded in a color. It's not painted. But I really like the looks of the white Plascon. Emerson had a number of white Plascon radios. There are other manufacturers that also did that. But this cabinet was very, very nice. So there was a radio in this cabinet. However, I didn't care because I saw the condition of the cabinet. It was a little dirty, and I cleaned it up. And that's all I did. And then I put my working chassis in it. And now it's really a nice looking radio. It's only a 5-tube radio. And it's I don't want to use the word mediocre, but it's not, it's not going to be a big DX machine, but it's very deco looking, and I kind of like that look. So I did the best I could as far as getting the radio to work and doing an alignment and all that happiness. And now I got one really cool looking shelf radio that works. So this was radio number 1. Okay, the next radio that you see here is a pre-war, I say pre-war, pre-World War II. This radio was made in, from what research I could do, is 1942. And this is an RCA 36X 6-tube radio. This doesn't have an RF stage. So it's only a 2-gang bread slicer. When I got this radio, there were no knobs in the front. So these knobs here that you see in the picture here, these are knobs that I had in my spare knobs supply that I keep in my radio boneyard, so to speak. And then there was also no mounting bolts in the bottom of this radio. I'll just tilt the radio over. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. None of these bolts were there to hold the chassis in. So it was just, the way I got the radio is, it was just basically kind of a little floating, let me turn this down a little bit, there we go, get a better shot. It was just kind of rolling around inside a cabinet. So I didn't pay anything at all for this radio. This radio was belonged to one of my neighbors at Kutztown, so to speak. That was had not too far away from me, and the owner of the radio did not. I guess I'm going to say that they didn't want to bring it home, So he just handed it over to me. He says, listen, I know you. I think you'll give this radio some justice. So hopefully he knows who he is, and I hope he watched this video. I did have to recap it and align the radio. It did have a one bad tube in it. I forget which one. I think it was the 12SQ7 that's in there. But other than that, now I got the radio playing pretty darn well. I was going to try to do something with the cabinet, but it's got little bits and pieces here and there. Let me pick this up so you can see. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but this is the original finish. And it's a good, strong player now. So be happy to have this radio. So I hope if that gentleman's watching, thank you very much. And that's radio number 2. Now there's one more radio that did follow me home. Okay, this is the third and last radio to follow me home. And as you can see here, it's fairly large. Without giving it away, anybody want to care to take a guess before I remove the towel? Okay, give you a few seconds. All right, got your guess? Okay, 1, 2, 3. If you said it's a chair side, you're right. Now, which chair side is it? Well, let's find out. Okay, let's go have a look. Let's spin this around a little bit. Well, look at this. It's a Zenith. Okay. And what this is I don't know how well it's going to come through. This is like the back side of the radio here. I have it up on my bench. Let me get some light on the situation. You can see that a little bit better. Okay. So this is a model 6S239. This is from 1938. I think that 38 was probably one of the better years that Zenith made radios. They made all kinds of cool stuff back then. My shutter dial upstairs, my 9-tube shutter dial is a 38. As you can see here, this has a broadcast band and 2 shortwave bands as well. One thing I got excited about is that if you look closely at the 4 Zenith knobs, these are all the original wood knobs. They are not the plastic reproductions that started to appear, I think, in the 90s. And it's all there. One thing I did notice, though, I forget which one it is. I think this is the tuning knob, but when I tune it, let me do it this way so you can see. There's nobody home. This is the band switch knob here. That's the volume on off. Not really sure what that is. That might be the tone control. But so I know that the dial belt is probably gone on it. So anyway, here's the story. The gentleman that I acquired this from also had the RCA radio that you just previously saw. So we were negotiating a price, and we came to a number. And well, actually, I'm actually a little ahead of myself. Mrs. RW actually kind of negotiated the number. And then I came back and said, listen, here's what I could do. And he had a radio. He had a little Feta portable radio for me to look at. And I said, look, I'll fix the Feta and I'll give you X. So that's what we agreed to. So I still have a Feta battery portable I have to fix. So here's the Feta I have to fix. And I'm not sure what the model number is on this, although I know that when I looked inside of it, it does have a 3-gang tuning condenser, so it does have an RF stage in it. Kind of neat looking dial there. So this is a battery AC set. And I told him, I said, this is probably a pretty good radio. So I'm going to fix this. That's probably going to be the next thing up on the bench. And I have this cool chair side, and it's kind of untested at the moment. I've got too many other projects I need to start. And one of the people I do radio repair for has already got shown interest in this radio. So he may come over and look at this. I wouldn't mind keeping this, though. It's kind of a neat little radio. Set this next to my my couch up in the living room. So that's it. Those are the 3 radios. Okay, everybody, that's pretty much it for today. I want to thank everybody for the nice comments that most of you made on the Kutztown video. If you haven't done Kutztown before, I highly recommend that you do it. Put it on your bucket list. Even if you're not a radio person, I think that most of you would enjoy walking around and just seeing all the old radios. And a lot of them, people have them out and playing, which is just really cool. Also, Renninger's has a number of shops and stores inside their stores. It's just one big long building with all kinds of different things. There's fresh foods and vegetables. There's a lot of places that you can have a little snack and bring some stuff home with you. I know Miss RW and I brought home a number of things. We brought home some, I know we brought a bunch of melons. We brought 3 melons. I think we bought 4 dozen eggs. We bought some pork and some other stuff. And it's just really good and fresh. It's one of those places where if you remember the days, or if you're old enough to remember where you went to a store and got a pound of bacon, it was an actual pound of bacon, and you could actually still get a pound of bacon there. So I'll just leave that go. The other thing I want to just mention real quick is I have a cousin who doesn't live too far away from me where I live here in New Jersey. And his name is Kevin, and he has his own YouTube channel. He's my younger cousin. And he calls himself Cast Iron Kevin. And what Kevin does is he goes out to a lot of the local swap meets in the area and looks for to purchase and restore old cast iron cooking stuff, like pans and utensils and things like that. So you don't have to be into that kind of thing, but there's a lot of fun in the hunt. So if you want to see what a lot of the New Jersey little local swap meets look like, check out Cast Iron Kev on YouTube, and he'll take you around for a tour, and he'll tell you what the venue is and where it is in New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Sometimes I know he's gone as far as upstate New York and Massachusetts too. So, and sometimes he brings his sons with him, or at least one of his sons. So check him out. Thanks again, and hopefully I will see you in Kutztown in September. You can go to dvhrc.com and get information on the September event if you want to get information to come, or even if you have a collection of radios, you might want to sell them. Hopefully, I know that all the tables were sold out, but maybe you can get lucky and there'll be a cancellation, and you can pick up a table and sell some of your own radios and vintage toys. So, thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.